really happy to see so many of you here already. Pooja, hello.
Hi.
Sarita, hi.
Yeah, hi, Jana.
How are you doing?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
True. I'm not sure. Did we meet before, Sarita? Is this our first time and I don't know it, or have you
Yeah,
been?
of course.
Okay. Okay. Naina, wow. Pranita. Indira is also here again. Great. Getting more and more. Hi, Pranita. As it is 5 past, I would say we just start. Is this your first session with us, Pranita? So I'm really happy to have you here with us. We're all happy, actually. And I guess I'm a bit excited to be the first one to welcome you to the Beam family. So I will do my best to make you feel comfortable. And before we go to that comfortable place of meditation, I have the one or the other question with me, because the people that come to the Thursday sessions frequently, or the one or the other time, probably meanwhile know that I have the habit to raise the one or the other question in the beginning. And as our topic today is self-consciousness, I would like to ask you, and please totally take your time to let this sink in and take your time to reflect about it. And I would love to have your answer, but if you feel more comfortable to answer that question and the questions for yourself, that's totally fine as well. Because I would like to ask you, what emotions do you go to when things are uncertain or too much? What emotions do you go to when you compare? What emotions do you go to when it's beyond you? What emotions do you go to when you're hurting? What emotions do you go to when life is good? Or when you feel wrong? And the main question that lies beyond all of those questions is, how good do you know the atlas of your heart?
Good evening, Jana.
This is
Good evening,
my
everybody.
Oh, Madhvi, it's so amazing to hear you.
It's a wonderful question. First of all, I really don't want to start with it, but I just want to say it's a really, really wonderful question, which is really touching the heart.
Thank you for sharing. Anu, would you like to share with us as well? Madhvi is is on mute now. Did
Sure,
you?
sorry. Yeah, so I wasn't, because this is also my first session
Mhm.
with you.
Mhm.
I wasn't sure if you're just throwing these questions for us to contemplate or also to answer. Can I answer it?
Yes, please, because this is what we start with in this session. It's about
Okay.
sharing and exchanging before we go into meditation. So
Okay.
share with
So
us.
okay, if I recall the questions, one question was, what do you do when you're happy? Obviously, the easiest. No, maybe it's because we are meditators, or I do get in the feeling of gratitude, which is naturally, which comes to me first. But also, there was a question, what do you do when things are beyond your control? That's easy, I think, because when you clearly know that things are beyond your control, because the difficult part is when the emotion is either gray or it's not really, you don't know whether you are in control or not. But when you know you're not in control, you believe in the higher power, or you kind of think, you accept the situation. I mean, I accept the situation and I kind of let it flow. It's easier for me to do it then if I know it's not in my control.
Mhm.
But if it's hurting, the easiest thing is to go to the negative emotions, or those easy, lazy, in the past sufferings where you're easily gone inside I go inside a cave,
Mhm.
literally under the stones. So I kind of hide and I tend to not really address those emotions quite well. I get overwhelmed by it. And if I dwell too much into it, then obviously the next pitfall and things like that.
Mhm.
And you said, do you know the atlas of your heart, right?
Yes.
Um, I'm a mother, so maybe when it comes to my kids, it's easier to understand the vibrations, or I won't call it the atlas, but at least I know what tickles it and what makes it really swell with pride, or those moments, that time I really know it. Um, but heart is such a complex emotional being in itself, right? And uh, I think, yeah, it's difficult to know the atlas completely.
Mhm.
It's more driven by that moment probably, so which gets added, but not the heart as such. Never done that.
Mhm.
So it would be good if you could share some tips on that. Were there other questions?
I mean, there were. I gave most of them were kind of examples for
Yeah.
asking you. Do you know what your go-to emotions are when you feel under pressure, when you feel happy, when you feel overwhelmed? So this was a bit of trying to give examples and trying to engage you with the general question, how good do you know the atlas of your heart? So the main question I would say is, how good do you know the atlas of your heart? Because all the other questions lead to that question.
I get it. I think when it's the peak, right? When I'm really happy or exhilarated, or the joy of that moment, is easier to break into a dance or a song or do whatever, right? It is much more easily relatable. I know those emotions, but when it's complex, or where I don't have a control and things are multidimensional with so many layers on it, the emotions also get like that. So yeah, that's it. I don't know if I gave you a confusing answer, but that's
No,
how it is.
no, not at all. I would like to share a thought that came up to me from what you said just in the end, and I would love you to let me know whether this connects with you or whether there is something in that resonating with you. Because my intuition brought up what I heard is when it's about the brighter sides of life or the brighter experiences, you go to your emotions, so you know the way. When it's about the darker experiences of life, the emotions get you or get to you in a way.
Absolutely right,
Okay.
right. I think I let them ride over me a
Okay.
lot more. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much, Anu. Beautiful answer. Thank you for sharing. That's amazing.
Thank you, Jana, for asking. Yeah.
Very grateful to have you here. Thank you. Who else would like to share with unmuting or with writing on the chat about how good do you know the atlas of your heart? How good do you know the ways to get to your emotions? How good do you know the ways to get out of your emotions? How good do you know the places where to find them and how to stay with them, and at a certain time maybe also to leave them again? Pranita, please share with us.
Hi. So my name is Pranita,
Hi.
and I'm new to your session, but I have been with Beam Family Meditation
Okay.
from past 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like the daily messages and all the Zoom sessions with different people. So it's really tough sometimes when we are out of control of our situations, but we definitely have a voice which tells us this is not right, and this is you are deviating from your path. So at that time it's really difficult if you have to listen to your mind or if you have to listen to your heart.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a tricky situation, but definitely your knowledge and exposure to meditation would lead you take a right decision.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is what, like, I also feel overwhelmed with some thoughts. Sometimes we are just dragged with our mind, but we realistically, if you think, what is the present situation, and we should not exceed our limits and control our horses. I mean, that is what I can just give you a suggestion. I mean, that is what I just went through.
Thank you, Pranita. There came a question to me that I would like to share, or a thought about what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Because as far as I remember it right, you said meditation will lead us to make the right decision. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So would you say that meditation might be the way to become the person reading the atlas of our heart and not
Yes.
feeling it, and from reading it but not being in the emotion but reading the emotion, we can make the
Yes.
right decision?
Yes. We
Okay.
have to analyze it. We have to keep analyzing our mind, because we cannot get carried away by our mind. We have to think. When you're absolutely out of your control, then you have to think, whether that emotion is leading you in a positive way or not. And then you have to make the right conclusion and the right decision based on your heart. That's what.
Great. Thank you, Pranita. I think this way around, it starts to make a lot of sense to me in terms of self-consciousness is this awareness of what emotion am I feeling and what is the reason for that emotion. For example, in a way, when I feel frustrated, I might be disappointed due to something, but I might also be overwhelmed. So meditation helps us to find the way that led us into that emotion. Maybe it was the way of overwhelm, maybe it was the way of disappointment, but this way around it makes a lot of sense. Thank you, Pranita. Madhvi, please share with us. You still, yeah.
Yeah. As I said, it is a wonderful, wonderful question, actually. I mean, you always get so many questions related to consciousness and also related to heart, especially. And yeah, I find so happy when I see these sessions. I would say that because I wanted to study medical, basically. And then my dad said that, yeah, I was through in the medical also. But yeah, with the circumstances, I could not join the medicals, and because of many things happened. You know, there are so many things happened in my life. I can write a book on it. Yeah, because I never thought that I would come to Germany. Also, that also it came.
Oh, but we're glad that you're here
Yeah.
now.
I was seeing a completely a different world because I came from a small Hyderabad. It's a city of so friendly people and so much food and so much nature, everything. I would never go away from that place. I don't know. So today I see that, why am I sitting in Germany? That's the question. Yeah. So many things happen. And then I used to tell my dad that, Dad, I want to go for a cardiology. I want to study the heart.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, especially. And my mom always used to be at the back of me. Study with your heart. Please study with your heart. I never understood that. Really, it took me at least 35 years to understand what it is to study with the heart. You know, I always used to think that study with the mind or study with the eyes open, like really clearly. But I never understood what is study with the heart. You know, it took such a long way to understand.
And would you
And
like to
now,
share your answer with us on that?
yeah. And then answer for your atlas of your heart. That means I know my heart now, at least with all my hurdles and everything. So that's only one chase in my life is what is my purpose of life? That is one thing, which is like in that atlas, there is one small aim, or maybe where there is one small goal I need to reach. I think to reach that, meditation is helping me out.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So because
So,
meditation, is that due to what we just kind of found out with Pranita, that meditation helps you to see the ways
yes.
that bring you to specific
Yeah.
emotions and situations, and from there maybe find back to the right path, or be aware that
Yeah.
you're on the right track, if you're not sidetracked. Is that
Yeah.
where it comes from? Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
because I have seen so many hurdles and so many directions, so many where from childhood, if you see, I was like, you could never imagine from my studies also, there were so many changes. And then the atlas is so clear now, but there is something which I really need to do, or the purpose of my life, or something which makes me even more happier, you know? So maybe that to lead that, I think meditation is really helping me a lot to find that way. So all these hurdles and craziness, guilt and joy, everything, you know, this is making you calm then. You know, the happiness also sometimes I'll become so overwhelmed with the happiness. Oh,
Right.
sometimes, and I have so much pain also. I cannot show you that because you all know that my mom left. So that is also like, you know, everything is so much at the moment. Yeah, to control all that, I think, to make it calm, or to make it in a state that to understand what is your overwhelm of happiness, what is the deep pain of yours, everything you can see it in your meditation. Yeah, this is what I learned. I
Great.
think, yeah.
Thanks a lot, Madhvi. That's
Yes.
so much, such heartfelt sharing already. Like that was straight from the heart. Also,
Yes,
what you
exactly.
just
I would
shared.
say straight from the heart. Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was a wonderful question, actually.
A pleasure every time again.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anyone else who would like to share thoughts around the Atlas of the Heart and how good we know it, how we can get to know it? Or did you ever thought about the heart having an atlas at all so far? Great. Yes, Vindhya.
Hi, Jana.
Hi.
Jana, sorry. How are
Oh,
you?
good. I'm good. I'm good. And I like both of names. Both are my names, meanwhile. Jana or Jana, that's totally fine.
No. It is what it is. But yes, thank you. I joined a little late, so I was waiting for what the question was, and you
Right. Okay.
repeated. So
Yeah.
I was listening to it.
Yeah.
Wonderful sharings by everyone there. So beautiful. It's nice, heartfelt to listen. Yeah, we always wonder about heart. Me too. And I'm like, is heart what is like, from what we learned in school, like biology and like the heart inside there, like, pumping blood and beating in there. And when I started meditation, I did with the Buddha CEO, and he would start with heart elevation because he would say that once you're in that heart elevated state, then positive, your positive energies flow and your mind automatically calms down.
Mm-hmm.
So he always starts with asking us to think of some happy event. And he tells us to put our hand on the heart. And I'm like, I can't hear my heart. So in the beginning, that's how it was. And that means our mind is so clogged with so many other things. We are not connected with ourselves. And it became so difficult. Then slowly, it's been over a year, I'm meditating and I can hear. And I have to still quieten down to hear that heartbeat. And so that's one thing about heart. And the other thing is, anytime we hear, I keep wondering, how Pranita said, or Madhuri said, study with the heart. And those by heart, what does that really mean by heart? I feel that is an experience. When you experience, it goes into your subconscious. When you're just learning, it is still in your mind. So when you get through the heart, that means it's with you forever. That's how I felt.
Mm-hmm.
And a heart has a mind of its own too. That's another big question you should ask sometime. What is mind? And we should all talk about it.
Oh, we can do that. That has to do with consciousness as well again. Definitely. Yeah.
Mind, not just the brain. It's not brain does the function of thinking, but mind. Patri sir had said once, and wherever you touch and you can sense, your mind is doing that thinking, feeling and thinking, wherever you, it is everywhere. Whatever you're sensing, it's through the mind that you're sensing it. So scientists nowadays are saying that heart thinks to, it gives you, it is a thing, there is a thinking function there. So I don't know many things we are learning, but by experience, I feel, because your heart says something to you, right? It tells you from your heart, you feel something. I don't know how people are saying these terms like your heart says and all. They must have felt it. So it's a good question to think about. And again, I say go with the heart, not with an analytical mind is good for things to analyze, but what your heart says is from your deep experience and deep-rooted feelings and everything. So it's I would like to listen from others rather than go on talking about this. Thank you.
Vindhya. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anyone else of you who would like to share? If not, that's totally fine, of course. Although Vindhya would love to hear more, but maybe it's going to start a discussion in the Beam WhatsApp group about the Atlas of the Heart. The idea of that atlas is not mine, actually. I was inspired to ask you this by the new book of Brené Brown, which is called The Atlas of the Heart. And in that book, she explains beautifully what types of emotions we go to when we experience specific things in our life. And it's just amazing to get aware that from this self-consciousness about what brought me in, what am I feeling? What is it that brought me into that feeling? You find the most amazing maps and journeys actually back into the balance of your being. So I can just highly recommend the book. And I really loved this awareness myself as well, that yes, there is a map of our hearts that we can get aware of, that we can get to know, and that will guide us on our path. Sometimes when we get lost or sidetracked, guide us back to the path, and also makes us aware wherever we just strolled in our life situations, what path we can take next for not getting lost or for making good steps. So thank you everybody for listening, and I hope the people that are, yes, Madhvi, yes, you
Yeah,
go.
I would like to know the book name actually.
The book's name actually is The Atlas of the Heart.
The book name itself,
Yes,
Atlas.
it's the title. It's the title.
The
So
title. Wow.
I sneaked it, like I stole it, but I'm honest about it. So I don't take it for myself. It's really beautiful. I don't have it close here. It's amazing. So um,
I'll also
it
read that.
yeah
Yes.
yeah
Sounds so great actually. Atlas
yeah
of the Heart.
yes yes. Anu,
And
you go.
Jana, I
Yes.
thought when you asked the question, I'm like, wow, she's a poetess.
Ha
Such
ha ha
beautifully
ha
she
ha.
asked. Was the atlas of your heart?
Yes, I wish I was, to be honest. Maybe there was a little bit of a flow in
No,
that is mine, but the title indeed is not mine. And yeah,
no,
everybody who's
to
going to read
deliver
it,
for
I'm
it.
sure you will enjoy in reading it, no doubt. Great, everybody. I will switch off my camera now as well, because we dive into meditation now. For that reason, I would first ask you to make sure that you are completely comfortable in your position and your posture, that you're right now. Find the posture that allows you for maximum relaxation and connection to your higher self in the next half an hour. To relax, we first breathe deeply together and we'll activate our senses. So let's breathe 3 big breaths together now. Each breath taking you closer to creative intelligence. 1, inhaling as fully as you can, expanding your lungs and belly. Holding it for a moment and exhale. 2, inhale, feeling relaxing sensations and compassion your body. Hold it and let go. Exhale. 3, inhaling as much as you can, feeling great power through oxygenation. Hold it to soak it in and exhale again. And so just relax, get aware and arrive of the place and the posture that you chose. and allow yourself to gently close your eyes. Take your senses away of your vision and begin to focus on all the sounds around you. Perhaps you can only hear my voice. Perhaps there are other sounds you can also hear in your surroundings. And maybe you also get aware of some music. Good. Now, draw your attention away from the sounds and focus on the sensations in your body. What are your fingertips touching? How do the palms of your hands feel? What are your feet touching? Notice how the soles of your feet feel. Become aware of your head and notice how your scalp feels. Can you sense how powerful your brain is? How about your mind? Can you become aware of your mind? How big is your mind? Our mind is our imagination. And our ability to imagine is boundless. You can literally use the great power of your creative imagination to experience dimensions. I am going to count from 10 to 1, and with each number I say, you will float along the timeline of your past, just observing all the moments of your life pass by without involving any emotion. You're floating along this timeline of your life, all the way to your birth, and make your way back to soul level, where you can connect with your higher self. 10. Letting your mind begin to drift back in time. What were you doing this morning? Yesterday? Last month? 9. See what you were doing last year. 8. Floating back along your timeline 5 years ago. Then 10 years go by. 7. You drift all the way to your school days. See moments flash by when you were a teenager. 6. Drifting through your childhood. See the places you lived during these times. Any memories that come, just let them pass by. 5. You are seeing things from when you were very young. Perhaps they are real. Or maybe you see stories you were told about your early years. 4. You can see you are a baby now, just learning to walk. See these moments as clearly as possible. Whatever it looks like, it's perfectly fine. 3. You are a very tiny baby now, way before you could walk. See people caring for you. Observe any colors or sounds you may notice from this time. 2. Now you are in your mother's womb, safe and warm. It's quiet in there, and you feel wanted in the world outside of your mother. 1. Now you are only but a spark of life in your mother, sent from your father. 0. You're passing through, back into the spiritual dimension, the place of unlimited awareness. Observe whatever you are experiencing right now. You sense a presence that is pure and beautiful. It is the most intelligent presence you're ever felt. It is your spirit. It is higher self. Can you notice its existence? What's it like? This higher self has been waiting a long time for you to come to this moment where you can connect and learn. What form does your higher self take on in this moment? Notice the details and the quality about your higher self that you can observe. The first bit of wisdom it wants to offer is about you in your human form, giving you consciousness about something you need to know. So open yourself completely to anything you need to learn about this current human incarnation you experience and listen. Any message you receive here and now, you remember for the rest of your human life. This is a moment in total soul consciousness. You may hear messages in the form of words, or you may just have feelings. Whatever you experience is for you. This moment you are spending with your intuition. It is void of any fears. Fear cannot exist when spirit is present. Ask your higher self whatever you need to. Whatever you need to know to fulfill the purpose in this human life. Who am I? What do I want? What is my purpose? What am I grateful for? Whatever you receive is perfectly fine as your answer right here, right now. Merge fully and completely with your higher self. Feel how you become a powerful source of all the wisdom you need to know for your life. You are one with your higher self, whole and complete, able to access infinite intuition at any moment. And now let your mind leave the merge. Let your mind float and drift until it slowly comes back to the awareness of the space around you. We are going to come back now to wakeful awareness, bringing back all that you have learned today with you. I will count up to 10 again. 1, coming back. 2, feeling good. 3, feeling strong. 4, breathing in fresh oxygen. 5, feeling complete. 6, feeling whole. 7, feeling wiser. 8, good, coming back now. 9, almost there. 10, feeling happy and rejuvenated. Take a little moment to breathe in deeply and let go and exhale freely. And whenever you feel ready, at your own time, in your own pace, gently open your eyes. Thanks to all of you for having gone into meditation with me. Thanks for trusting me to be your guide. If there is anything you would like to share, please feel free to write or unmute yourself. And if not, that's totally fine as well. Wonderful. Then we leave. Madhvi, you want to say something?
Yes, thank you so much, Jana. It was a wonderful, wonderful session and a great meditation I had. And as you said that you are trusting you are a great master indeed.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, within a couple of minutes, I think I just went so deep that I could see the church already and ringing those bells. And yeah, that's so beautiful, actually. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm happy that it resonated with you.
Yes, you are a wonderful master. Yeah.
Thanks.
Within a couple of minutes, I think you were going on saying something, but I couldn't hear anymore. It was so
Then
like,
you were in the perfect place, I would say.
yes, I thought so. And it was, yeah, I was so excited when I was talking before. You could see me, and now you could see after meditation. It was before you saw that how I was, and after the meditation, you can see me now.
A
I was
lot
so
of calmness in your demeanor.
Exactly. And I was so much with excitement and so much of full of my work
Monkey
related
mind.
to healing.
The
Exactly.
monkey mind.
Yeah, the monkey mind and working so much with this brain throughout the day and explaining and excited. But as soon as with a half an hour just session, I could feel so calm. Really.
Great. I'm happy
Thank you so
that you
much.
say so. It was a true pleasure.
Yes, it was from my heart. Thank you so much.
Sending you all love and light. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jana. That was a pleasant surprise. Thank you.